Hey, good afternoon, everybody. This is Sheila. I am coming to you today with a couple of ask letters that I've received. The first letter is coming from, but I love him. That's who she says she is. But I love him. And she says that she's been going out with this young man. He has bad habits. And I'm making these letters long story short. He has bad habits. That is what she said. Um, which can be detrimental. They've been going out off and on for, they've been going out off and on for a couple of years. And he's been in and out of jail. He's been in and out of rehab. And he keeps telling her he wants to have a family. Well, my advice to you is, and it's funny because my sister in law and I just had this very conversation, but my advice to you would be he's not the person to have a family with. Um, you have to be selective. Ladies, listen, I understand everybody want to live the high life, and I understand that everyone wants that rich guy who can get them all the things that they like and all the things that they need. However, however, when you're talking about bringing a child into this equation, that's not a good deal. That's not a good deal at all. Because, first of all, when you have children, children don't ask to be here. They don't ask to be here. And second of all, once you have a child, your life should be all about that child. It should be protecting that child. It should be making sure that child is comfortable in relationships. Um, you can't do that when you're dating that guy with bad habits or like to do bad things, or, you know, everyone has to learn from their lifestyle. Um, be it something as serious as health or something as serious as illegal activities. Either way it goes, everyone has to take that lesson from their lifestyle. Now, you do have the option if you want to be a part of that lesson or not. You have the option to not bring a child into a world of chaos. You know, so many times, young ladies, we forget that having a child is not a bargaining tool. Having a child will not keep a man. Having a child is actually a gift from God. And it's your responsibility as a mother to make sure that child is protected mentally, emotionally, and physically. So bringing a child into this relationship just because he wants one and he hasn't proven to himself yet that he can be upstanding, that's a no go. That's a no go. Um, if you see the good in him, and you think that you can make something happen, then so be it. Let that happen. However, you need to protect yourself and protect that child. All right. So the second letter is from. Am I going to read this one? Yeah, go ahead. Okay, so the second letter is from Menage to Maybe. Her and her husband, their relationship is getting stale. Those are her words. My relationship is getting stale. We have been discussing bringing another person into our bedroom. I've heard good stories and I've heard bad stories. My biggest fear is that someone would come into our bedroom that's younger than I am and prettier than I am. And his biggest fears are the same. Miss Sheila, is this something you would do? Hell no. Not at all. Mm-mm. And let me tell you, to know me is to know I don't judge anyone. I don't judge anyone. And I actually don't give opinions to my friends and stuff like that unless they ask for it. So here's what I'm going to say to you. I'm going to say to you, if you're having reservations already, before you even had the menage a trois or bringing another person into your bedroom, that's a sign saying that it's not a good idea. You know, it seems like you have a level of insecurity. It sounds like your husband has a level of insecurity about these situations, and I don't think that's a good idea. Because here's a scenario for you. Say, for instance, you bring someone in and it be male. In the back of your head, no, excuse me, not in the back of your head, but in the back of your husband's head, he's going to be like, is she seeing this guy behind my back? And vice versa. You're going to be like, is he seeing this lady behind my back? I think that you guys are not equipped for that type of thing. So to bring a third person into your bedroom, I wouldn't recommend it, not with your mind frame. And as far as it's being something that I would do, no, it's not nothing I can do. I would do. I mean, because at the end of the day, I don't like to share. But if it's something that you do and if it's something that makes you work, then so be it. Like I said, everybody has their vices and it's not my job to judge. If you ask me, I'm gonna tell you. I mean, but I don't think just because of the simple fact that you said that, you know, he's he he's thinking, what if you see him and you're thinking that, I don't think that's a good idea. All right. All right. So my next letter is from Maybe I'm Too Beautiful. All right. Hey, Miss Sheila, they say that beautiful women, excuse me. Hey, Miss Sheila, they say that beautiful women usually have a hard time keeping a man. I am pretty. I am outgoing. I am smart. I am educated and I'm successful. Either they want to cheat on me with women who don't meet my standards or my qualities, or they want to hit on me. What do you think about that? So I'm not quite sure what you're asking me, what I think about, do I think about you dating men who want to cheat on you or, hit on you? I think that as a woman, you are, excuse me, as a woman, you are way way more important and way more precious than to have someone cheat on you or beat on you. Um, a lot of times people don't understand if you're getting the same results from different relationships, then a lot of times it could be um, something that you need to dig deep down inside of to figure out what's going on. Why is this happening? You know, and that will go with counseling. You will have to seek counseling to figure out what is going on. Why are you attracting these same type of men, and what do you need to do differently? Um, is it as far as, or were you asking me, what do I think about all beautiful women, being cheated on, and so on and so forth? Well, that is, to me, that's a myth. I have very, very, very beautiful women in my family, and I have friends that are very, 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 very beautiful. I'm not going to say that all women experience it, but a lot of women experience getting cheated on. I mean, even women who are highly successful and so on and so forth. So to me, that's not something that just is destined for beautiful women. Um, Cheating is not your problem; it's the guy's problem, first of all. But if you continue to get these kind of guys that cheat, then you might want to figure out what it is. I know for me, I've said this before. I'm that person who won't call you every day. I won't text you every day. I'm if you leave and go somewhere, I'm not that person who's going to be where you at, when you coming home. I allow you to do you, and most men took that as a pass to go out and do what they wanted to do instead of taking it as, okay, she trusts me, let me continue to earn this trust. So that was my reason why I kept getting those kind of relationships where people wanted to creep out, you know. So you have to look within. That's not something that I can answer for you. That's not something that anyone can answer for you. You're going to have to go and get you some therapy, get you some help, and assess. I'm not saying you're responsible, because like I said, when a man cheats or if a woman's cheat, it's never the persons that they cheated on fault, it's that person who cheats fault. But you need to find out, why do you continue to attract these type of people? And especially if they're hitting you, that's a no-go. That all bets are off. If you even look at me like you want to hit me, all bets are off. So I don't know, beauty. Go get you some counseling to see why that keeps happening. I was talking to my sister the other day on the phone, and it made me think of something. It made me think of when people say, like, beauty beauty chick just said, this always happening to me. It's all Why does this always happen to me? That's something that, if you, be it a friendship, be it a relationship, uh, be it in a family relationship, no matter what type of relationship that is, if you're finding out and if you're seeing that the same things are happening to you over and over and over and over again, then it's time for you to reassess your behavior. Not saying that you're doing anything wrong, but what are you doing to attract these type of people? What, you know, what can you do differently? What are the signs that, okay, this is going to happen again? And again, I'll bring this back on myself. I tend to be that person that when everybody has an emergency, they call me first. And it was at a point to where I was getting phone calls at 2 and 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning. And at first I'm like, why are they calling me at this time of the day? It Yes, they were wrong for calling me at this time of the day, but that was the stage that I set. And I tend to be that person who wants to be there for everybody. And I tend to be that person, like, if you're going through something in life, I don't set boundaries. I tend to make everybody else's issues mine. And beauty, that could be, you could be getting those project men. And when I say project men, men who you see something like, okay, Let me help him. Yeah, I seen he did, he did that to that other chick, but I'm gonna be different. He won't do this to me. You know. So you actually, in all relationships, you have to set boundaries, first of all. Second of all, you have to self-assess. And people think that you should just self-assess when something goes wrong. When you wake up every morning, right after you say your prayers, you need to self-assess. You need to self-assess, because if things are remaining the same and you got the same old picture, you know what I'm saying, with just a different picture frame, you need to self-assess to see what your role is into attracting these people. And excuse me, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying what your role is or what you've done or what you're doing, but I'm saying, what is your role in attracting these type of people? You need to make sure that you don't have that sign on your head. And I think if you guys seen a show that we did, probably, I want to say maybe 3 or 4 shows ago, me, my little brother and my little sister and I, we did a show on you attracting what you advertising for, or something like that. What you put out there is what you're going to get in. I'm going to tell you, it wasn't until I decided that I was going to stop dumbing myself down, and I was going to stop um, being that victim, until my situations changed. First of all, know what your weaknesses are, know what you stand for, and then don't be afraid to tell the person, hey, this is not cool. And if you find yourself saying forgiving the same person for the same thing over and over again, it's time for you to reevaluate that relationship. All right, I'm gonna do one more letter and then we'll call it today. Our shows will resume normally. I'm sorry. Our shows will resume normal. Starting the second week of September. We'll be back on schedule. Right now, we just got a lot going on. Everybody kind of have a lot going on. So this last letter is from Big Daddy. Okay. So Big Daddy is saying that he's in his 40s and he likes to date women in his 20s, and he's tired of being judged about it. His thought process is, if they're grown and they're mature enough, then it shouldn't be an issue. Big Daddy, I'm telling you this. If you're in your 40s and you're dating women in your 20s, in their 20s, if it was a one-off thing, okay, so be it. If that's your preference, someone younger. But if you dating these fresh 19, just turned 20s, I think you need to I'm gonna go back, self-assess, because a 40-year-old and a 20-year-old rarely, and I'm not going to say they don't, I'm going to say rarely have anything in common. Now, need I mind you, before my current relationship, I was a cougar. I dated guys who basically almost everybody I dated was a minimum of 10 years younger than me. But they all had it going on. Like, for me to date a younger guy and his maturity level or his intellect does not match mine, that would never happen. Now, if you're dating these 20-year-old, and there's a lot of, young people with old souls, and maybe, you're not being creepy. Maybe. I'm glad the camera's off so you guys can't see my face. But anyway, look, Big Daddy, if you're dating these women because you like them and you have something in common, I say go for it. But if it's something you do to make yourself feel young, or you know that a 20-year-old will be more open to your BS than a 40-year-old, then shame on you. Okay? And you feel free to write me back if you have a rebuttal. If anybody have a rebuttal, feel free to write me back. The email address is at ask@mama-sheilla.com. And that's mama, MAMMA dash Sheilla, SHEILLA.com. And if you wrote me, um, if you emailed me something the last 2 weeks of last month, please re-email me. I changed web host providers, and when I switched over my Outlook, I lost all of my emails, and I apologize. And I did get a rebuttal back from a young lady that we had spoken to. Um, I think it was probably a month ago. The one who wanted to know about, the guy never wanting to marry, never discussing getting married. And she said they don't have kids involved. And that was my question. They don't have any children together. So if you guys don't have any kids together, and you are the only person that's bringing up that discussion of marriage, and he changes the subject, don't even give you a someday, or don't even want to warrant a conversation, and you guys been together for a long time, I think you should take that as your message that he don't want to get married. And he might be okay being with you forever and not being married. And if that's what you want to do, go for it. But at this point, from everything that you've told me and everything that you put into the emails, it doesn't sound like this gentleman want to marry you. So that's my advice. And then I also got another rebuttal back from that messy group of ladies, and she said that her mom apologized to her mom apologized to her stepdad's ex-girlfriend, and everything's good. Well, good. Because at the end of the day, we're all queens. We don't need to be fighting. We don't need to be arguing. Um, we don't need to bring each other down. My understanding is, you know, all of the ladies in this situation are successful business owners, and they have a lot riding on it. So, what we need to realize as women, and especially as Black women, when we get to the point where we've worked and we put in our time and we've done our dues to build our empires, it's okay to walk away from drama. It's okay. It's okay for you to say, hey, you know what? I got too much to lose. I understand that we see these doctors and entertainers and doctors' wives and attorneys and all these people on these reality shows beating each other up and then going on trips and stuff like that. That's TV. And I don't know how much of it is reality. You can't live your life like a reality show. All right. We have to, as women, and right now I'm speaking of women of all races, not just Black women, but women of all races. We have to collectively work together, because at the end of the day, we are all queens. And if it wasn't for us women, there wouldn't be another soul on this planet. So know your role. Know your role. And if you're insecure about your marriage or your relationship with someone, don't jump on the ex, especially if the ex then told you a whole bunch of times that she don't want him. All right. Well, that's it. And like I said, we'll resume our shows the second week of September. If you have any If you have any great show ideas, or you want to be a contestant on the dating show, go ahead and visit mamasheila.com, and that's mama, MAMMA excuse me, SHEILLA.com. And go ahead and submit your request. I know coming up, we want to speak to people who have literally been cheated on and remained in their relationship, and we want to speak to people who have been cheated on and have not remained in their relationship. Um, we want to speak to couples who have broken up but remain friends, and we want to speak to divorcees who have divorced and remain friends. And we want to speak to people who are currently co-parenting in different states. So those are some of the topics that we got coming up for September. So just let us know, hit us up. Like I said, we need you. This is a village thing, it's not. Mama Sheila's is not one of those things where we're going to sit out and kick out the advice. Mama Sheila's is designed for that village effect. Listen, if somebody's on the show, or even if myself or Kiki or Dee or Stacy, if one of us say, hey, you know what? This is what happening. We want you to chime in. We want you to chime in, because a person who you can teach something to they're unstoppable. So, you know, you guys have a good evening, and thanks for joining. Bye.